No, I'm not in Veracruz or anywhere else where this plant is native. We're going to have a little lesson, kids, on yucca and one of its closely, not really related, but sort of related. Related because it looks similar. Yucca and Beaucarnia, they're very similar. People get them confused. We're going to talk about them here a little bit. So, what do we have? We have a plant called Yucca gigantea. You'll never guess what gigantea means in Latin. Right. Gigantuan. Yeah, big. So, this is a semi-succulent plant. It's not a palm at all. Some people think it's a palm. It's not a palm. It's a big succulent stem. Makes a big fat base trunk on it. Gets multiple trunks. I'll show you the flower. It's a really nice, beautiful white flower. It's native to Mexico. It's native to all through Central America. That's a really versatile plant. I think it even grows into the Yucatan and Belize, Costa Rica, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador. In fact, in El Salvador, it's called ezote. I don't know why, but that's what it's called. And so basically, it turns into a small tree. It probably gets to about 20 feet or so. And let's see what else we have here. It also gets a variegated sister, which is just quite striking. This is my favorite one here. So we propagate this plant all the time. Look at how beautiful it is. If I get on the other side, you can see how it shines through the sun. Oh, look at that. Huh? Isn't that striking? So at the sunset, it's a really good plant to have on the sunset because it shines through. So right here is Beaucarnia recurvata, and it's also native to Mexico. It's native in the northern, further up, a little bit north than the yucca, and it also makes a big swollen base, which is really awesome. It has to contend with 7 months of dry season. Therefore, it must find a way to store water, and that's how it does it. A huge base that stores all that water, and it has these beautiful little curly foliage on it. And I kind of tend to like this plant more than the average yucca, which is the average yucca right there. This plant also used to be known as Yucca elephantypes, but that's an erroneous name, so that you know. And what else? But they both get a big swollen trunk. They store a lot of their water in the trunk. They're immensely drought tolerant. You can plant both these plants in California and never have to water them after they're established. After a couple of years, they'll get by on just scant rainfall. Even if we have seriously very little rainfall, they'll get by, no problem. And they look really fantastic here next to these rocks. You can see I would never plant them like this. I never plant two really similar plants next to each other like this. It's just kind of a cacophony of form here. I mean, what do you think? You've got this upright yucca next to a very similar looking Beaucarnia elephant's foot. They call this the elephant's foot because it looks like an elephant's foot. And what's funny about that is they call it the elephant's foot, yet this one is Yucca elephantypes for elephant. So it's confusing, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, you want to try to plant, disparate plants next to each other. Disparate meaning like plants that are very different in form and color, so that you can really show off the plants really well. It'd be nice to have like a bushy kind of silvery plant underneath, or a yellowish foliage plant, something that's really going to set off these plants. Here you just have this just crazy conglomeration of chaos. Visual chaos is what I call it. We'll walk up here and we'll tell you how all that plays out. So here's the flower. We're looking at the flower of the variegated form, which is my favorite of all. And these petals can be eaten. There's different recipes, Central America and Mexico, where you can eat these beautiful petals. Look how pretty that is. Here's the bloom. It's just starting to open up. Maybe I'll eat one right now for you. That's rather good. Yeah, I've never had that before. It's kind of sweet. Tastes like asparagus. So remember, if you get really desperate, it's a good way to do it. Most of the recipes actually cook it with some onions and tomatoes grilled up, but just raw is pretty good. Oh, I kind of like that. I'm going back for more. Heck yeah, baby. Give me some more of that. I'll take that. I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet. So again, there's the light shining through. Quite striking, the variegated one compared to the regular one. I'm just going for it. Look at that. Oh! Who needs Taco Bell? Who needs Taco Bell when you have ample Yucca resources? That's what I say. There's another one of the ponytail palms, and then a whole bunch of these variegated yuccas, which are so fantastic, really pretty. And you can see they basically mixed the regular one. Look at it. They had a big opportunity with their boulders too. You guys, anybody need a wheelchair? They had a big opportunity with their boulders, and it's like, hey, I don't know, let's just dump them. Look at this big rock. This is an awesome rock. Look at this thing. It's huge. Jeez. They probably had to move this thing when they put this place in. But come on, you could have made some really beautiful rock formations out of this. And so they're like, you know what? Just dump the rocks randomly and just drop yuccas in there of all different sizes. Throw a few Beaucarnia in there. Just mix it all up so it just looks totally confusing to the eye. But anyway, this has not really been taken care of. They actually look much prettier than this when they're, kind of well trimmed. But you do get the idea of the beautiful glow that can happen. If this is a really, manicured landscape, it would look a lot nicer. But there you go, guys. You got two different types of yucca. The variegated gigantea, as in right here. Look how beautiful that is. And the regular green form, which is right over there. And the Beaucarnia right here. Look how pretty these are. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that, guys. Isn't that pretty? They could be striking. And your Beaucarnia, now you know what to eat. You know how to arrange these plants. So that's it. I don't want the plant to feel sad, but I'm actually going to go buy some food at the supermarket right here. But I might collect some of these. I might actually make a little fried up meal out of this. I'm going to try that. Maybe I'll put that in the video. See ya. Let's grill some yucca blossom. And this time I have a professional camera person, Ray Grag, who is the artist of these very bowls here. That's an avocado leaf and printed into a bowl. How'd you do that?
Took a ceramics class at school right before the pandemic, and I made 50 bowls with leaves pressed into them.
All kinds of cool stuff here. There's like a coffee mug here with a fern pressed into it. And what's this? This looks like a palm leaf, right?
Yeah.
Palm leaf. And then she's got monstera right there. And an even better monstera with some figs on top of it right there. Yep. All right. So anyway, I want you to film me, and we're going to try this a little bit. So I got the yucca blossoms. I didn't really know these were edible until I could do a little research before I filmed this plant today. And now I know. So I ate one raw, as you saw, and it was really surprisingly good, just raw. It didn't say that people ate them raw, but all the recipes call for them being cooked. So I'm just too curious. So what I'm doing is I just took out the little flower bud in the middle, and actually, kind of bitter. It's not bad. I bet if you cook this up, it'd be pretty good too. Basically, they say that it's the blossoms that are the best. So we're gonna go ahead and start our little pan here, throw it in here, grill this up, throw it on, and just see what happens. I don't know. I think we're gonna throw some olive oil on there first. I don't have any butter. Probably butter might be better, but I do have olive oil. And looks like the ants think that the yucca blossom is good. So, and then we'll just throw it all in there and see what happens. Some of the dishes call for onions, but I just kind of want to see what this is going to taste like just raw, I know what it tastes like raw. I want to see what it tastes like all by itself without any flavors competing with it. And so we're just going to probably braise these things up, and I'm just gonna make a big bowl and eat it. Maybe Rhea will join you. You have some, Rhea? You gonna eat some?
Possibly.
Yeah?
If it's tasty.
All right. I don't think we need to cook it very long, do you think? Here we go. All right, so maybe we'll cut that and come back in a minute. Yes, that is a koala bear, and those are gasterias in it, and that is a baby koala bear. And yes, that is a sloth. And yes, that is the artist who made those. And yes, there is my grilled up, first time ever yucca blossom delicacy. These things are everywhere, people. You can just like pull these things all day long. There's so many more flowers in this. Right, here you go. Let's see. Here we go. It seemed like a perfect opportune moment, having a Mexican delicacy feast. Why not have a Mexican delicacy chelada, micheladas, huge in Mexico. If you don't know about that, you got to get into it. It's really fun. There's all kinds of different micheladas out there. So let's just give it a try here. And there's no salt, no nothing, just a little bit of olive oil to kind of grill it up here. And we're gonna see what happens. I brought a little bit of salt. I'm presuming a little bit of salt would be good. Also, I brought some lime, as I've heard that lime is also the thing to do. Look at the beautiful color. Okay, here we go. Try first bite. First bite grilled. Had it raw, now I'm having it grilled. That's really good. It almost tastes like artichoke, like artichoke leaves, but you know, without the hard part that you can't eat. And I bet you with a little bit of salt, it's going to be spectacular. Well, without the salt, it's fine too. The lime, salt solidified. Put a little bit of lime on it. Lime is good with everything. You know what we really need? Oh, wow. Oh, that's delicious, guys. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I highly recommend it. I still think just a little bit of salt would be really good. There's no salt at all coming out of this. Anyway, but yeah, you put a little bit of lime on your grilled. I'm gonna go get these. I'm going back. I'm gonna denude this tree. There's a bunch of trees around it. These things like grow on the sides of roads, people. They bloom this time of year. It's like late summer. And I highly recommend going out. And if you want to eat totally natural, 100% natural, this is the way to do it. Nobody's put any chemicals on this at all. And it's absolutely delicious. Bon appetit.